Hi there, my name is Victor and I am a master technician.
Please be aware that I do not represent any company. I'm not endorsed by or affiliated with any automotive manufacturer or car dealership. All opinions expressed in this video are my own, and all trademarks, logos, and brand names are the property of their respective owners. Today, I'm going to show you how to replace the signal light and wiper control switch on 2010 to 2015 Lexus RX350 and RX450h models. So locate this cover on the side of the steering wheel and use a trim tool on this end of it. To disengage it. Now inside there you have a bolt. It has a T30 Torx head. So loosen that bolt and keep unscrewing it until it stops. It won't come out fully. There is a little plastic tab that holds it from coming out. You have a similar setup on the opposite side, but here you have the cruise control switch that comes through that cover. Clip it off, slide it off, and then you have another T30 Torx head bolt in there that you gotta loosen. Okay, same deal, it's not gonna come out, just gonna stay there. Now you can grab the horn with the airbag assembly and gently pull it out. And you can see you got 3 connectors on the back. You have the horn connector and you have the 2 airbag connectors. Now the repair manual tells you to disconnect the battery before working on any airbag components, which is definitely not a bad idea. So for your safety, you probably want to go ahead and remove the negative battery terminal before you start disconnecting the airbag connectors. All right. Now we can pop them off. So get a little flat blade screwdriver. Go behind this tab right here and lift it up. And do the same with this one. Yeah, and now you can get the flat blade screwdriver in there and unhook the airbag connectors. And then lastly, you have this horn connector. So the horn connector has a little tab that prevents it from disconnecting. It's right there. Just press on it with your screwdriver and then you'll be able to pull this connector off. And there is your horn and steering wheel airbag assembly. You can unplug these connectors right here. Get them out of the way. And loosen that 19mm nut holding the steering wheel on. Now, before you pull the steering wheel off, it's a really good idea to mark it so that you know how it went onto the steering shaft. Otherwise, when you go to put it back on, you might misalign it and then you'll have to take it apart again. Or if you're not planning to move the steering shaft, you can just make sure that the wheel is sitting really straight, and then you can put it back on straight like that. So oftentimes you can just get the steering wheel off by hand. If you can't, you need to use a puller. It has a provision for 2 bolts here. Let's take a look. So it's got 2 holes here, so you can screw your puller bolts in there and then press against the middle of the steering shaft and pull it off that way. But we'll try to get it off by hand. There we go. Comes right off. Remove the lower bolt on the steering column cover. Number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Now remove the 2 front screws here. Well, you can turn this if you want to, but you want to make sure you put it back in the same place. And now separate these 2 halves. There we go. So the bottom piece will come off. Just get it over the steering column tilt and telescopic switch, and then the top comes back like this. You can separate it too. You have the 4 little clips right here that hold it to the cover there. You can get in between here with your trim tool and start popping it off. And then those little 4 clips come out and you have the top cover in your hand. So now you have this spiral cable assembly here. So what's important to know about it is it says 5 turns on it. So that means that maximum amount of turns you can turn is 5. So 2.5 each way. So right now my steering wheel is pointing straight ahead, and you can see it's up at the top. So you can go 1 turn, 2 turns, and then half a turn, and then it stops. So if you don't know exactly, if you turn it accidentally and you don't know where to put it, or if it's a new one and you're not sure which way it's positioned, go until it stops and then go half a turn, 1.5, 2.5. So now it's centered. So with the wheels pointing straight, this is where it should be located. Unplug the spiral cable. There's 1 connector here, and there's 1 for the airbag. So with this one, you first slide it back, and then it will come off. Now this is held on with 3 plastic clips. This one here, this one here, and there's 1 on the top. So you just disengage them while gently pulling on it. So there's your 1 clip. There's the other clip. And then the 3rd one is at the top. Just lift it up with your finger. There we go. And then we have 1 more connector here, this blue one. So unplug this guy, and the spiral cable assembly comes off. So to remove this signal light switch and the wiper switch, you gotta squeeze this snap ring right here with pliers, and then you have this plastic tab right there. So while you're squeezing, you're gonna lift this up. So I only have 2 hands, and I'm not gonna be able to do all of this while holding the camera. So I'll just tell you what I'm gonna do. Squeeze these while lifting this plastic up. Unplug the 2 connectors that are attached to it. I think that's all there is. Squeeze this guy and then lift up on that little hook, the plastic hook that's holding this piece on. All right, there we go. So I'm going to show you the hook I was undoing. It's this one right here. So it hooks up to the top of the steering column. There's a notch in it. Actually, on the bottom, this isn't really a hook. It just holds the snap ring in place. So squeezing these two ends of the snap ring, pry up this piece, and then just kind of pull on it a bit or pry on it, and it will slide off the column. So to reinstall, just line it up straight. Squeeze the tabs on the snap ring, and slide this piece on. All the way. Okay, it clicked. Position the snap ring in there. All right, and now we can reconnect our connectors. Reinstall the spiral cable assembly. Just line it up with the slots and make sure all the 3 hooks are clipped in. Make sure it's centered, so 2.5 turns each way, and then plug in the connectors. So we have 1, we have this one for the airbag, 2, and 3. Reinstall the covers. And you have the top one. Those 4 clips are going to clip into here. All right, and this one clips in like that. Then we have the bottom cover, so we just got to get the tilt switch in through that hole. And I'll line both of them up. There's a lot of like little tabs on them, so they all need to click in properly. But don't force it. It should line up nicely once everything's aligned. And then clip the sides in together. Okay, that's good. And reinstall the 3 screws. Now install the steering wheel, feed the spiral cable connectors through, and then line it up the way it came off. So align it with your marks or whichever way you marked it. Yeah, that looks good. And now we can get our nut back on. And tighten the nut to 37 foot-pounds. Are nice and tight. It's good. And plug in the 2 connectors here. Reconnect the steering wheel airbag assembly. So plug in the connector for the horn first, and then the orange connector. So clip it in and then push the yellow clip in, and then do the same with the black one. reattach the bolt that holds it from the side. Tighten to 7 foot-pounds. And reinstall the cover. So it's got this tab on it that goes in first and clips in. And then tighten the bolt on the opposite side. And install the cover. And there you go. Signal light and windshield wiper switch assembly replacement is completed.
Thanks for watching. Please check for product links below the video for any tools or supplies needed to complete the procedure shown in this tutorial. If you would like me to make a specific video, please leave a suggestion in comments. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Cheers!